Hello, everyone, and welcome to another match reaction on Football Talk podcast. My name is Ozzie, and I'm your host for today's show. What a day! Liverpool absolutely destroyed and dominated Man City with a 2-0 victory at Anfield. Now, let's be honest, we made that look real easy today. Absolute light work. We only just beat the champions of England today, and we also beat the champions of Europe in the same week. But calm down, Liverpool fans. We haven't played anyone yet. I think we're getting a bit slightly ahead of ourselves, or we're getting a bit gassed. One of the viewers I had in my watch along said that Mikel Arteta will teach Arne Slot a lesson. Well, I'm not scared of Mikel Pulis, who I like to call him now, so, behave. Also, big up to Pep Guardiola for reminding the Liverpool crowd how many times we have won the Champions League and also reminding us how many games Man City have lost in a row in recent weeks. Man City are now 5th in the league. Add Pep's 6 fingers that you can see on the screen, and that's the gap point between Liverpool and Man City right now. And how the mighty have fallen. People are now questioning Man City's top 4 credentials as Arsenal, Chelsea, and Brighton have eclipsed them in the league table. So what a time to be alive. Big up to everyone in the chat. To see a comment here from Enz. It says, big up, bro. Big up, Enz. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your support as always. So let's do a quick review of the game. I'll then present my player ratings and give you guys a platform to call in and come on the show. So if you'd like to call in and have your say, the floor is yours. A link is pinned in the live chat. So let's discuss the first half. I can't believe how dominant we were. Man City couldn't lay a glove, forget a glove, couldn't even lay a finger on us, even if we paid them. I wasn't hugely surprised in terms of the tactical approach. I did mention it just before the watch along. I had a feeling that Pep was going to go a bit defensive in the first half, with Rico Lewis being that player who was a inverted fullback and then would form into a back five in defensive situations. In terms of tactical approach, he was very unlike Pep, who doesn't really play that defensive. I guess desperate times call for desperate measures. We had a few shots on goal that was safely saved by Ortega, who replaced Ederson in the lineup. Then Van Dijk hit the post with a header from a corner kick. But then we finally broke the deadlock as Salah produces an exquisite pass with the outside of his foot to find Gakpo at the near post, and he scores from close range. Moments later, Van Dijk produces a bullet header from a corner kick, and he just missed the post. So close from the centre back. By my opinion, I think he should have scored as he was in point blank range there. Then Trent has a shot from outside of the box that just clips the post. Man City didn't really get on the end of anything. The only moment that they had came from Rico Lewis, who had a shot from inside the box, but he dragged it wide. In the second half, Man City started playing with a different approach, a bit more positive than the first half, which isn't really hard considering how defensive they were. They played with more purpose and had a lot more possession in comparison to the first half. But Liverpool had the real chance as Robertson hits an inch-perfect through ball towards Gakpo. He's through on goal, but fair play to Matheus Nunes, who makes the crucial block and denies the attacker. Van Dijk has another header from a corner kick, but he has it over the bar. For me, he should at least have been on the score sheet once. They have quite a few set pieces where he should have scored. City produced a big calamity moment as Salah nicks the ball away from Akanji. He goes through one-on-one with the goalkeeper, but somehow his shot just goes over the bar. Poor attempt from the Egyptian king. Should have buried it, in my opinion. Then moments later, Liverpool under attack once again as Diaz nicks the ball off Kyle Walker and drives through on goal. But Ortega comes off his line and completely takes out Luis Diaz and concedes a penalty. No debate whatsoever. It was a stonewall penalty. Mohamed Salah steps up and slots it right in the bottom corner to extend the lead to 2-0. City almost grabbed themselves a consolation as Van Dijk produces a rare mistake as he gives the ball away to Kevin De Bruyne, who's through on goal, but thankfully Kelleher charges forward and makes that crucial block. And that's the main key points of the game and the match highlights. I don't think people deep what we've done this week. We dominated the champions of Europe in the Champions League midweek, and then we defeated the champions of England like it was nothing. It was literally a walk in the park. That's why Pep Guardiola was so rattled when the crowd started singing "You're getting sacked in the morning." Most people or most managers would have taken it as banter, but that certainly hurt Pep's soul, and he produced a Jose Mourinho moment, presenting his personal achievement using his fingers rather than, representing his team. So for me, bit of a shameless gesture from Pep. Your team's getting worked, and that's the best response you had. But I can't lie, I love it. It's great to see Pep react the way he did. He knows that City are done with the title hunt. They've got a big challenge ahead of themselves, as there are a lot of teams competing for that top four. But forget City for a second. Liverpool are 11 points away from Man City, and the closest competitor in second place is Arsenal, who are now 9 points behind us after they smashed West Ham 5-2 yesterday. I said it last week, but I'll say it again with chest. We are winning the league. I can't see anyone getting close to us in terms of the title hunt, but still lots of games to play. Having said that, I am getting those 2019/2020 vibes. So let me know what you guys think and drop a comment. Are we winning the league this season? Because I certainly believe we do. So let's move on and do the player ratings. If you'd like to call in and join the show, a link is pinned in the live chat. So feel free to hit that link and I'll get you on very shortly. So let's present the graphics on screen and then we can talk about individual performances today. So let's start with Kelleher. He actually wasn't involved in the match as much as he usually is, I guess. It was a first half was very quiet. I think the only chance that they had on goal was a Rico Lewis shot, which was a tame effort, pretty much dragged it wide. And in the second half, I can't really recollect many shots. I remember there was a looping header, but it wasn't nothing that troubled Kelleher. Haaland was pretty much anonymous. He was involved as much as we were as spectators. Did not get on the end of anything. Don't think he had a shot at all, let alone on target. So the only moment that I remember Kelleher had to be active and make a crucial save was that mistake from Van Dijk, where Kevin De Bruyne was through on goal and he made that crucial block. So that was definitely a strong point in terms of helping Liverpool get the win, but also keep a clean sheet, because it could have been 1-1 and then, it could have been where we conceded afterwards as well. But thankfully, Kelleher to the rescue, and he's just been fantastic so far this season. I don't think there's any urgency to get Alisson back in action. I don't think he was even on the bench today, was he? So no, for me, another great performance from our goalkeeper. So for his rating today, I'm going to give him an 8.5 out of 10. Let's talk about Trent Alexander-Arnold. Some of the passes that he produced in this game, I just remember that one particular pass from his own half, and he just zipped it all the way to the other side, curled it around the centre back, and the ball met with Mohamed Salah. That pass was just out of this world. Amazing technique from Trent Alexander-Arnold there. He actually had a good game, in my opinion. Defensively, very good up against Matheus Nunes, and he didn't really get any joy on that left side. Passing was good, was pretty much active in terms of making overlapping runs and getting involved in the game. Had a few shots himself, was close to scoring, in fact. So had a good first half, especially. Obviously, he's just come back from an injury, so he's not going to, or wasn't expected to play the full 90 minutes. But having said that, the only shaky moments from the game was when Doku came off the bench, not by like a big margin. It was just a few occasions where he got the best of him, did one or two good turns on him, but generally he made a lot of blocks on Doku. I just didn't like the fact that Gary Neville said that he was substitute because of Doku, and that was the reason why Kwanzaa came on. I was completely incorrect in my opinion. He was off because he's just come back from a long-term injury. He was out for about a month with a hamstring injury, so it was more of a precaution more than anything else. So yeah, but what do you expect from Gary Neville? He's not really going to give us real insight in terms of how the game is played, and especially from a Liverpool point of view, he's never going to speak highly about any of our players. So in terms of Trent's performance, I'll give him an 8 out of 10 today. Joe Gomez, what a performance from Joey G. I think there would have been a lot of fans not nervous about Joe Gomez's appearance in this game. I think it was just more so of Konate being injured because he's been such a important figure in our defensive line. And unfortunately, he's out for 5 to 6 weeks. So going to be a huge loss. But I feel like people are sleeping on Joe Gomez in terms of his ability as a centre back. Today was just proof that he can still be a fantastic player for us in the team. He was so calm on the ball today. Didn't look like he was under pressure whatsoever. His distribution was very good. And overall, very, very strong performance. So I was very pleased with Joey's inclusion to the team. So for me, he gets a 9.5. I thought he was really, really good today. Spectacular performance. Gave me 1920 vibes, just like our title hunt. So yeah, good to see him back in form. Just waiting for him to score that goal. Hopefully it will come this season. And next, Virgil van Dijk. What a performance from our captain. Strong in every aspect of the game. Haaland could not get a sniff around Van Dijk. Only thing with Van Dijk in terms of his performance, obviously giving that ball away to Kevin De Bruyne. That was not a great moment there. And also the 3 headers he had in the set pieces, he definitely should have scored one in my opinion. But from a individual performance as a defender, I thought he was really solid today, very dominant. They couldn't get around him whatsoever. So today, I'll give him a 9 out of 10. I think Joe Gomez just tips it over for me in terms of his performance. Robertson was actually really good today. Very, very solid in my opinion. Much better on the ball. Defensively, had 1 or 2 moments where he was a bit out of position. There's one more. I think the Rico Lewis shot, he was, giving him a bit too much space to allow him to even have that shot. But generally, I thought he was really good on the ball. He was very good. That through ball to Gakpo was elite, and then making overlapping runs with Gakpo on the left-hand side, he did really well. So no, a good, solid performance from Robbo. So I'll give him an 8 out of 10. Gravenberg had a very interesting role today. He wasn't playing as deep as normal. He was very much box to box, but he was pressing from the front as well. And I think he did a really good job, really solid game from Gravenberg. And yeah, he just kept on improving as the game went on. And the funny thing is, people are still not, I want to say testing, but they still don't believe that he's the best midfielder in the league right now. But I think, this game shows you that he is. He's up against the champions, the current champions, and he just pretty much ran that midfield. And then obviously playing against Real Madrid midweek showed his level there as well. So his stock is on a rise, and long may it continue because he's been fantastic for us this season. And I feel like he's got more levels to unlock. And today he just showed a different way of playing in terms of he was more adventurous, more brave on the ball, and he was definitely pressing from the front. So another great performance from Gravenberg. So in terms of his rating, I'll give him an 8.5 out of 10. McAllister definitely had a good game himself, showing a good passing range, providing that sort of forward passes rather than just going backwards and sideways. So for me, he had a very good game today, really solid. So in terms of his rating, I'll give him an 8 out of 10. I think Gravenberg just edges him in terms of the overall rating. Now, Szoboszlai, I was hugely impressed with Szoboszlai. The only thing missing from his game was a goal. Not that he had many chances on target or anything like that. I thought he was fantastic today. His energy, his presence, his powerful runs from deep, he definitely made his presence felt. Um, what impressed me the most today about Szoboszlai's performance was his efficiency on the ball. He hardly gave the ball away, made the right pass, took the ball with the right touch. They never really conceded possession and just kept the ball moving, drove with the team as well when it came to any counter attacks and did really well from an all round point of view. Very impressed with Szoboszlai. And I feel like it opened a few eyes of certain fans who didn't understand his role in the team. I guess today, now you know. So for me, I was very impressed with him today. I'm actually going to give him a 10 out of 10. I was very pleased with how he performed. Obviously, the thing that was missing was a goal, but as a team player in terms of what he produced, I thought he was fantastic. So 10 out of 10 for me. Uh, Mohamed Salah had a good game himself as well. Probably had a bit of a frustrating game. Um, Not due to his own wrongdoing or anything like that. He was man marked by Ake very tightly throughout the game. Ake certainly gave a few fouls, but Salah got nothing from this game in terms of any free kicks or anything to that nature. They just waved everything on it that involved Mohamed Salah, so he really got frustrated. Um, so he had a bit of a tough afternoon one-on-one against Ake, but he definitely made his presence known in the second half. The pass, even for the first goal, was sublime, and obviously scoring a penalty under huge pressure, he did really well. Considering he missed an easier chance earlier on where he was one-on-one with the keeper, that definitely would have played a part in his mind, but he kept that composure and slotted it in the corner with complete ease. So not another good performance, a goal and an assist. That's 11 goals and 7 assists to his name. That's 18 GA there. He's having a fantastic season now. Big talking point, unfortunately, is his contract. Obviously, he had that interview with NBC not so long ago, and that certainly, grabbed everyone's attention in terms of his ongoing future. Is he at Liverpool? Is he not? And obviously, the comments that he's coming out with in interviews are not helping. So today he was like, this could be his last Liverpool versus City game at Anfield. So he's just enjoying the moment. So that's quite, sad to hear because I don't feel like he deserves to leave the club the way it's being done right now, where obviously we don't know what's going on behind closed doors. But as it seems, it looks like he won't be given a new contract, or they're not, ready to fulfill whatever requirements he has from a financial point of view. So I hope this is not the last season of Mohamed Salah in a Liverpool shirt. But you just never know. So it's just a bit disappointing that he's having to play and not have clarification in terms of his long-term future at the club, because I'm sure he'd want to get that addressed and he can just focus on football. But at the same time, he's been professional. He is playing at the highest level and he's trying to do his best to help Liverpool win the title. So you can't really question his professionalism. But in terms of his performance today, a goal and assist, so I'll give Mohamed Salah 8.5 out of 10. And Gakpo had a decent game, a little bit quieter than normal, if I have to be honest. But definitely tried to have an impact in the game. Had a good partnership with Robbo on that left hand side. Got the goal, but obviously, it was it was hard to miss. Then obviously, it was easy to score than miss. So no, you can't question in terms of his positioning because he has been getting some important goals in recent weeks. And whether he starts or whether he comes off the bench, he always has an impact, which is what you want from each squad member. So in terms of his performance today, I'll give him a 7.5. I know that might seem low in comparison to the others and comparison to him being actually the goal scorer as well. I still feel like he had a good game, but for me, just slightly less than in comparison to the players that have 8 right now. And Luis Diaz, I thought he had a really good game. Really did fantastically well in terms of pressing from the front, and even just the way he was distributing the ball, through balls to Salah and other attackers in the team. Yeah, he worked hard today, really hard. Yeah, really impressive how he plays in that central role. It's a great option for him to to be available in these sort of positions, especially with Jota unavailable for the team right now. So now it's a good option for us to have where if we need to switch it around, we can do. Gakpo very comfortable playing on the left hand side. Diaz looks like he's got another position that he can really trouble the opposition. So good performance from Luis Diaz today in terms of his performance. I'll give him an 8 out of 10. So that is my rating in terms of man of the match. It's quite obvious to see who it is because it's got the perfect score, and that is Dominic Szoboszlai. I thought he was really, really good today. So that is my player rating. Before we close the show, I'll just mention briefly the substitutes that came on. So we made 4 substitutions, and it was Darwin Núñez on for Gakpo. So I'll place the players in their correct positions shortly. And then we had Kwanzaa on for Trent. And I thought Kwanzaa would have shifted as centre back, and Joe Gomez playing at right back, but that wasn't the case. Kwanzaa remained as a right back in this fixture. And then you had Curtis Jones on for Salah. And then you had Harvey Elliott on for Diaz. There you go. So that were the substitutions in terms of where they are. Let's put Darwin up top. There we go. So let's start with Darwin Núñez because he came on pretty early in the second half. He had a decent cameo, to be fair. Worked really hard for the team, very aggressive, whether it's from a defensive point of view or attacking wise in terms of pressing. I remember one moment where he made a headed clearance from a corner kick and then ran all the way to the half lane and pretty much slide tackled the defender to try and create an opening there. So you can see that he was showing great aggression, but in the right way, and he wasn't, being reckless in his challenges or anything to that nature. So for me, a very good cameo. Worked hard for the team and was aggressive when we probably needed a bit of that up top. So for me, his rating is 7.5 out of 10. And then who do we have? Kwanzaa came in and actually did a decent job playing right back. Was up against a tricky opponent in Doku, but I don't think Doku had much influence after that. He certainly came a bit more infield when Kwanzaa was there, and Kwanzaa got on him a couple of times. But having said that, even Doku got past Kwanzaa as well. So I think defensively he was sound, didn't put a foot wrong. So he gets a 7 out of 10 for his cameo. And then we have Curtis Jones, who looked like he was having fun, to say the least. He was doing no-look passes and he was doing flicks and turns. So yeah, definitely, expressing himself. But at the same time, wasn't just doing fancy tricks in the wrong positions or for the sake of it. He definitely helped in terms of keeping the ball and maintaining our rhythm when it comes to passing and making sure we didn't drop our tempo either. So for me, a good cameo when he came on. So he gets, I thought it was a very strong cameo actually. So I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. And the final player didn't get much game time today, but having said that, it's still a very good sight that he's made his return to the pitch, and that is Harvey Elliott. Came on for probably like the last 5 or so minutes. But no, it's good to see him back. I think he'll definitely be needed in our upcoming games. We've got a game literally midweek against Newcastle, and then we've got Everton next Saturday for our midday kickoff. So he'll definitely be involved in upcoming games. So good to see him back and good to have him as an option in the squad. So I'll just give him a rating of 6 because he literally just came on for a small cameo. So that is my player rating. And that is it for today, guys. So thanks so much for tuning in. Thank you to Ains for his comment. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Now, in terms of upcoming shows, I will be doing a Premier League Match Week 13 review tomorrow evening, possibly around 11 p.m. So make sure to tune in. And then we'll start doing our match preview for Tuesday of our fixture against Newcastle. Then we'll do the live watch along on Wednesday evening, plus a match reaction show like today. And then Thursday, we'll do a match preview of Liverpool versus Everton. And then Saturday, we'll do a watch along and reaction show for that day as well. So lots of content coming your way with, the games coming quick and fast, and then not a lot of gaps in between games. So yeah, a lot to cover. But at the same time, enjoying the ride right now because Liverpool on the up. We're top of the league. We're top of the Champions League. We're in every competition, and long may it continue. So Liverpool on the up, and hopefully that is the case until the end of the season. So that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Take care, stay safe, and I hope to see you all very, very soon. Goodbye.